Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Covert narcissist manipulation tactics, that of subjugation. Subjugation is a term, it is a verb. Essentially it means an action that one engages in to bring one under dominion or control. Domination or control. So the subjugation is an action that the covert narcissist engages in order to have you subservient, which means underneath them, and basically keeping you in a state of hardship. And in a state of hardship essentially means suffering. It can be emotional suffering, physical suffering, psychological suffering, spiritual suffering, essentially on all levels, the entire being. So it is very much an abuse of being, and kind of a creative way of looking at it. However, it is an abuse of being, which means your very soul, your very consciousness, your very identity of who you are. And it's especially unjust and unfair when it's bestowed upon a child or a spouse, someone who is living with them and in close proximity, closely inhabitant with them, and so they're constantly and chronically subjected to this sort of subjugating behavior, which means to keep them under their dominion, under their control, and to the really end point of suffering. And it's not overt control tactics like, you've heard of the horrible people in the news who will lock up a child in a closet or lock them up in a basement or deprive them of food or homeschool them to the point where they have very little contact to the outside world, or they're isolated, and all, it's a very sort of elusive sort of experience where there's such a vast degree of withholding going on that they're subjugating this person through lack, and this lack is the creation of the suffering and struggle, which eventually even a child is poignant and is aware of this. And usually a child is coming from a state of fulfillment of their needs, so they're going to be approaching this parent. Likewise, the spouse is going to be approaching their spouse or the covert narcissist, and just like wanting to get something going, wanting to get some communication, their needs met. This is natural. This is what we're here for. This is what we do. We're the family unit. It's you and me against the world here. What's going on? Like, we're a partner, and that same relationship is called upon, but yet the covert narcissist just kind of taps out. They just kind of, bow out of their obligations in this very discreet and really concerning manner. And so in essence, if they can depress, they can keep them down and keep you under a form of control, which is to keep you powerless, in essence. So in their mind, they're maintaining a power while you are powerless. So it's a very strange use of power. To me, it seems very contradictory as to, why wouldn't you want to empower those around you? I, not being a narcissist or a psychopath, and I'm very extremely empathic, and I'm more about empowering people. Hence, I'm establishing this channel and this work here. So it seems very counterintuitive to want to annihilate your very own family, especially when it's a position of choice and you choose your spouse, you choose to have a family. It's not like, this is an obligation that you didn't create. You actually created this situation, and it seems very counterproductive to cause and create conflict in that very unit. It just seems very counterproductive to me. And likewise, I'm very solution oriented. I very much live in the solution and arrive at solutions, and that is my strength, and that's what I hope to bring here to you in this channel, is that awareness and the tools and resources here that we provide at Peace and Harmony. And you know, it's almost, when you think about being subjected, or the subjugation, it's almost a way that they're able to conquer. They do it by, it's almost a form of conquest. It's like conquest by silence. So again, it's very destructive, especially to those who have experienced this and who have been through this. They understand it, and it's very difficult to articulate. However, it is experienced. Oftentimes it's experienced before it's been able to be articulated. So when we add the tools of knowledge, which are intellectual, with the experience, which is occurring in the body, the emotions, kind of the light goes on, and you're able to understand and better pinpoint and resolve really these type of issues. Once you can identify it, you can release it and let it go. And it's really essential to let that sort of poor behavior go, and let go of that experience and let go of that abuse, because otherwise it's going to continue to replay, and it's going to continue to abuse you even when the person isn't there, which is not good. You don't want to be continually re-abused in your mind through memories of being suppressed and oppressed and silenced. So in order to do that, in order to kind of let them go and unlearn that helplessness that you had perhaps developed now, is to really work on the reprogramming, which I go through a lot here in this channel, and I'll go through more of that in future and upcoming videos. But therefore, it is a way to overcome and become victorious over this type of covert narcissist abuse. So please be aware, please identify how this is working, even though it's not clearly visible. See those inner workings, and see again and observe from a very neutral stance this type of behavior and this sort of manipulation tactic, and really try to observe its impact on you and see if it has indeed hindered you, and if so, it's time to create some boundaries there and work and focus on yourself and your happiness. Peace and harmony with you here today. Hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.